Hello there. Well, today I'm going to do another painting of this tree. I made a little card of it. I did it a few years ago, but it's a lovely tree. It's in a little wood in the New Forest called Ridley Wood, and it's not an enormous tree, but I did love the way its shape was, and I put a pony in it. But I think what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to put some pigs in it. Well, it's a lovely bright morning and I'm heading off to Ridley Wood, and I've got to try and find this beech tree which I painted several years ago, and I'd like to paint it again. Now there's Ridley Wood in the distance. I've got to go across this little valley. It's not very far from the village of Burley, but and right in the distance you can see some of the cars going along the A31. Now the tree I'm looking for, I've got to try and remember where it was because I didn't record its location. It's not a big tree, but it's an interesting one. Now this is the tree. Found it rather easier than I thought it would be. Since I was last here, you can see a holly has fallen across there, which I probably wouldn't include in a painting, but this is definitely the tree, and I'm going to do a little sketch of it, and I'm going to take some photographs, and then I should take it back to the studio and see if I can make a painting. One of the reasons I like this tree is that the way it curves, you can place an animal, pony, or I'm going to put some pigs, and pigs are synonymous with ancient woodlands of the New Forest. Now this is my drawing. It's quite a decent sized picture. I've drawn it out, and I've put some pigs in. Now you can see the outline of those pigs, and then I've done that in pencil, and then I've put a wash, an acrylic wash over it, just to kill the whiteness of the canvas. Now I start most of my studio paintings off by getting the darks in, and I use acrylics because you can put oil over acrylic, but you can't do it the other way around. And because acrylics dry so quickly, I always tend to put some of the darker areas in first, and then I can go over it with the oil. Now I'm not using the full range of acrylics, I'm just using some of the darker tones, and I'm really just following the pencil lines. And one of the good things is that when the acrylic dries and I start working the oil on top of it, should I lose my way a little bit, I can sort of rub the oil off and still see the acrylic marks underneath. Now I'm still using acrylic, and really this is just acrylic white with a little bit of blue in it, just to turn it a little bit. At this stage I'm pretty rough and ready. I'm just really trying to cover the canvas with paint, and soon I shall switch to oil. Now this is the second day, and I've now switched to oil. I like using oil. It flows nicely, it doesn't dry too quickly, I can feather it and mould it. I know a lot of people swear by acrylics, but I've used them, but only as an underpainting. Oil to me is my preferred medium. There's always a lot of background to do. You've got to keep the distance in the background, keep it a little bit fainter obviously, but I do like working on beech trees. There's just something about them, the shapes, and I'm sort of looking forward to the final touches, putting the lichens on, which they're almost luminous when they do go on, and they're lovely trees and lovely shapes. We're on the third day now, and I start working on the animals, mainly because the foreground is still not quite dry. You notice I'm working from a photograph. I can't do horses out of my head like some artists can. I use the photograph to get the accurate details. Now, I've used this photograph that I took several years ago several times, and the key element for me in putting animals into a painting is to make them look as though they're actually in the painting and part of the painting, rather than just on an afterthought on top of it. Well, that's about as far as I'm going to go today with the pig. It's like the pony, it's just a rough start really. There's a lot more work to do, and I've got the other little pigs to do. But anyway, that's the end of the third day. Now I've made a bit more progress. I'm leaving the pigs for a little while. They're obviously too bright at the moment, but I'm trying to get in now the leaves, the fallen leaves, beech leaves, and there's all sorts of colours in there. I've mainly worked on the right hand side of the painting over here, and I'm gradually building up the effect of leaves. The other thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have some lines leading to the tree, just by little bits of dark, little bits of light. Now, I've worked each day for at least 4 or 5 hours, but when you're painting it goes by very, very quickly, and I've reached the stage which I really do like, because this is the finishing touches. Now I can go on for quite a few more days just doing half an hour here and there. Well, I've made reasonable progress today. I've started to put the lichens onto the beech tree. It may be a little bit strong at this moment, but when they've dried I can always put a glaze over them. But it's coming on, and I've got quite a lot of the foreground in, but there's quite a bit more work to do yet, but I'm quite pleased with it so far. Now I've nearly finished, but I usually get to this stage and then I like to make a frame for it. There's quite a bit more to do on it, subtle things, but I've got a nice frame over here, and I'm going to show you what it looks like in the frame. Well, that's the picture in the frame. As I say, the picture's not really finished yet. I've got a few more touches to do to it, but I think that frame suits it. It's a traditional sort of gold frame. It's quite an expensive frame, but I think it suits the picture. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click a like and maybe subscribe so you can see another one at another time. Goodbye for now.